Chris D'Elia's victims has come forward and has decided to write an open letter on Reddit. Not on the Fighter and the Kid subreddit, though, on some Chris D'Elia one. So they put an open letter to Chris D'Elia fans from one of his teen victims. Hi there. I'm just like you. Or I guess I was. I was a fan of Chris D'Elia and loved to watch his live comedy and videos. Until I became a victim of his predatory sociopathic behavior in 2012 when I was a teenager. I have compassion for you, all of his fans, because you are being lied to, manipulated, and gaslit the same way he does to the women and underage teenage girls that fall prey to him. He has been fooling you since the apology video that was filled with lies and deflection, and no real apology or accountability. Posting videos of his wife and newborn child, getting married, having Kristen on the podcast. It's all a facade. He wears a mask and he wears it well. I used to say he was a wolf in sheep's clothing. Now he is a wolf in wolf's clothing. He is a sociopathic, narcissistic, damn, living a double life. I say none of that with exaggeration. And how he seemed to get away with it has only made him feel even more powerful than before the truth was first out there. Put simply, he is a dangerous man, a danger to women and a danger to society. I have read all of your comments. I'm sure all of the other victims have too. And you often ask, if there's so many women, why don't they come forward? Why don't they show their face and use their name? If what happened is true, because if you read and heard the way you talk about us, you wouldn't want to either. Over 500 women/girls didn't just one day have a secret meeting and decide for no reason to accuse one man of horrendous things. There's been that many? Damn. They shared their stories because they are true and they all corroborate with each other. It's also frustrating that some of you didn't fully believe any of it until a man made a documentary and a man vouched for the validity of the accusations. Why couldn't you believe us? The women it happened to. But if that's what it takes for you to believe it, I am thankful for both Kyle and Zach for supporting the victims and standing up for what's right. You also ask, if he really did these things, why don't you just report it? Guess what? We have, and here we are. And we do, but the justice system doesn't always work. You would understand that if you ever had to report a crime, assault, that other thing for yourself or somebody you loved. Most of us want to move on with our lives and heal. The past 2 years have been excruciating on our mental health, self-worth, and our livelihoods. I even heard that one of the victims killed themselves over it all. Oh my God. I won't share my story here because I don't owe you that. None of the victims owe you anything. And when you send messages or write comments discrediting our real life events, dismissing this whole situation as a smear campaign, or calling us crazy liars, it is hurtful and infuriating on many levels. Every victim that has come forward is brave, badass, and is trying to save other women from being abused by him. Abusers thrive from their victims being quiet because then they get to continue to abuse more people. Read innocent, vulnerable, naive girls. I truly believe that any female fan of his is at a total risk of being abused, assaulted, or other things. And by the time you really understand what I mean, it will be too late. I wish someone had told me to stay far away. So I'm telling you, you get to choose what kind of art you consume, what kind of artist you support, and where you put your money. I can't tell you what to do, but ask yourself, is this really a man I admire, that I want to support, that I want to emulate? Is that what I want to see in this world. He has no regard for his fans, his babies, or even his own wife and child. All he cares about is his own ass, the money in his pocket, and his own power. He will do anything he can to lie, cheat, and manipulate his way out of it. If you don't believe me now, you will soon learn the full truth. He is lying to you. He is manipulating you. He is trying to trick you and thinks you're too dumb to catch on. All of the facts have been laid out before you. We tried to warn you. What you do now with that knowledge is up to you. Best, another human being on this earth living among you. So, wow, this said a lot of stuff in there. Now, she says when I was a teenager. Does that mean 18 and 19? Because if it does, then, like I said, the only problem I have with what I think what Chris D'Elia is being accused of ultimately is if any of the girls were not of age. And everyone just keeps throwing around this teenager thing when they could be 18 or 19 and they are of age. And he's in California. I don't know what the limit there is. Is it 18 or is it 17? I know in my crazy state it's 16. And I only know that because of a very famous case happened here where a 16-year-old ended up working at a strip club and there wasn't really anything they could do about it because the age of consent in my state, Rhode Island, is 16 and you're allowed to work. So they made a specific law just saying you can't work at the strip club until you're 18. But it was a very famous story happening at the Foxy Lady. But like, if they're not underage, I am not really seeing what the problem is. But I guess the accusation is that they are. Which, if they are, well then, oh boy, is Chris D'Elia pretty big trouble. I mean, his career is already over, but I mean, that documentary that guy made could lead to legal trouble. Remember, Chris D'Elia said for the past 6 weeks that he has been in rehab for his addiction. And he doesn't do drugs or drink or anything. So, this is just a weird dude. And like, he says it's just sex. He denies all of the things of the girls' ages, but I have no idea. I don't truly know what to think of this person's account, but I would like to get your thoughts on it. Do you believe this person? Do you not believe this person? Do you believe that whole documentary that came out about it? So let me know your thoughts in the comments.